Welcome to Market Matters. I'm Nadia Hassan together with Sulhi. Azman, it is Wednesday? It's Wednesday, exactly. Yes. And it's the first day of the ASEAN Summit. Apparently, my Facebook buddy and the guy I follow on Twitter, President Barack Obama, is set to come to Malaysia. And because of that, the roads are closed. Either you feel excitement or you feel massive irritation that you're stuck in a jam.
Yeah, okay. But then hopefully, let's see what the relations are going to be like. And also, Nadia, there will be because we are now in the middle of November, there will be the end of the year. We have got 2 more IPOs coming up. We have 2 more listings to go with Kim Tek Cheong Consolidated, which is consumer packaged good producers coming to the ACE market, as well as the Red Sinner and F&B SPACs.
Yeah, I know it's a new thing. We're talking about resilient. If you look at Insider Asia, they actually covered a lot of resilient food stocks. These guys are going into the restaurant space. I'm just hoping that with the 400 million they're apparently going to raise, it doesn't end up with just hipster cafes, because that seems to be the only thing that's actually coming up in sort of Malaysia. But actually, moving on to the KLCI for today, we are looking at the FBM KLCI closed down about 5 points, 1656.5 points, and I think it followed on with Asia in general. Wall Street was shaky, Asia was shaky because there was that massive bomb threat that happened overnight.
Correct, yes. I mean, as you correctly pointed out, Wall Street in the midst of the bomb scare in Hanover, Germany. And also, if you look at the Nikkei, for instance, Nikkei closed up 18.55 points. The dollar strength against the yen helped stoke otherwise risk-off investment. And Shanghai...
Well, the yen, we have to dwell on that a little bit, mostly because Japan has slipped into recession again.
Correct.
So I think everybody is just feeling a little bit of it. But saying that, I saw news that the Nikkei almost touched a 3-month high. I think people are just rebounding from that impact.
You are right. Moving on to Shanghai, it closed down 36.3 points as investors are spoke by the authorities crack down on insider trading. Apparently, Nadia, the Chinese government under President Xi Jinping is actually cracking down on many top notch at the financial institutions officials.
Yeah, basically, I think, remember, he had that massive move to cut out graft. And that actually hurt a lot of luxury brands.
Yeah.
And this is the same kind of thing. The thing is, you're hoping that it's fair and it doesn't just turn out to be a witch hunt and it's not somebody's uncle that you just didn't like. But actually, I think everybody in general was a bit cautious, because even as we were going into the studio, you kept seeing news about the siege in Paris where they were trying to catch the bombers who actually caused the massive tragedy. And, you know, I think it's just a sad day in general. And of course, I was just mentioning to you off air that today I saw the sad news that Jono Lomu, who's an all-New Zealand, all-black New Zealand legend, he passed away at 40. Very, very kind of sad news. Yeah, at a very young age.
But yeah.
We can't dwell on that. Going on to our hot stock of the day, we're looking at Malaysian Pacific Industries Bhd, or MPI if you are a friend of it. Essentially, it actually closed about 4.9% up to 7.71 ringgit. What they are, of course, they are the semicon companies. They were actually one of the 3 big ones between Unisem and Globetronics as well. So these guys actually was a really, really big gainer because they had very good results yesterday.
Yeah, correct, Nanda. Definitely. They announced the first quarter results where the revenue went up by 18%, as well as the net profit went up, but it shot up by 135.7%. Now, because of this good performance, they declared a dividend of 8 cents in dividends, and the company is an absolutely cash-rich company. It has a cash of 221 million ringgit and a borrowing of 79 ringgit, which is giving it ample room to maneuver.
Okay, so it's very simple. You're starting to see the positive impact of the guys who benefit from the weaker ringgit and the stronger USD. This one was very simple. I was looking at the notes to announcement. Easy, simple case. Increased sales. In fact, the US segment was the winner. They actually saw a 36% jump in revenue. The rest were actually just below the 20s. And of course, lower raw material costs. So I think you'll continue to see this kind of trend with these companies where, you know, all the guys who are the USD bandwagon, where you will see all of them sort of report the same kind of thing. And here is the rub. When does the party stop?
When
does the party stop, Sulhi?
That's a good question. Well, the party might stop when the ringgit goes a bit weaker, I suppose.
Well, not a bit weaker. I think a bit stronger.
A bit stronger, sorry, exactly. A bit stronger against the US dollars. But anyway, if you look at the companies, they're also selling fat margins for the automotive and also the smartphone segments.
Okay, so here's the thing, right? If you want to invest in semicon, these guys have good cash pile, I suppose, if that's what you're looking at. But it's notoriously fickle and cyclical. I've always said, and I'll say this again before, you can go absolutely bat bananas trying to figure out when the bottom is and trying to cap on it. So I think that's actually a little bit dangerous. But anyway, regardless, the stocks jumped as high as 3% on 3Q earnings announcement. We saw a massive jump in net profit. Of course, it's involved in semiconductor business. Cash rich, well managed, is one of the biggest semicon guys out there. However, cyclical nature, you worry about it and whether or not this party, and actually how long this party actually is going to last. Moving on to our stock with momentum, open up your ears.
Yeah,
why you want to open up your ears? Because Acoustech Bhd, and the name, and for once in a many times, the name actually means what it's selling. Acoustech Bhd, negative momentum, up marginally at 0.8% to 63 cents. What did they do?
Well, Acoustech Bhd, as you've already pointed out, they manufacture speaker units for major consumer electronic brands such as Sony, Panasonic, JV, and Kenwood. So they have manufacturing plants in Port Klang as well. And they recently, Nadia, of all the business segments that they want to venture, they are going into the property development.
Yeah, at least it's not oil and gas. No, because we joke about this, but we talk about it all the time. How actually, when people want to diversify, it's usually oil and gas or property. I wish somebody would diversify into candy making.
Yeah,
why not?
Which is more resilient, isn't it?
Exactly. You'll always need sugar.
Yeah.
But the fact is, this company is going to be as the same as what MPI is going to see the situation. They themselves have said they think the weakening ringgit is going to be the big windfall for them because they're going to gain on export activities. Their director, Leong Ngai Sing, I think he said in a report about earlier this month, the depreciation ringgit is great for them. They should be breaking out the champagne right about now. And as you can see in their earnings, they did swing from a loss last year to a gain this year, even though I think top line was a little bit down, but obviously they made their better margins. When's the last time you bought audiovisual equipment?
Oh, that was last month, I think.
Are you an audiophile?
Yeah, not really. I'm not an audiophile, but I'm just using it for my own personal use.
Yeah, but do you think that this kind of thing is resilient? Do people keep buying new home appliances and these kinds of speakers?
I think they do as well, because maybe they wanted to change in something when you buy a new house or a new theater, for instance, or you want to improve your experiences in watching videos and
yeah,
so
but
on.
It's very linked to the companies that sell them, whether it's Sony or JVC. And I think it's just tough right now to buy audiovisual equipment, and people themselves are buying their wallet. But they are cutting costs left, right, and center. They dispose of their plant in Sungai Petani, so I think that's always a good thing for them. But we actually have to bring it all home. Basically, this company, Acoustech Tech, is actually pegged as negative momentum by the Edge Research. The company has said that it will benefit from the USD windfall, although the earnings still don't really show that as of yet. However, the consumer sentiment still might be an issue.